Welcome to Bryno's Brews, the show where I drink and evaluate the wonderful nectar of the gods that is beer. On this week's episode, I've got a special beer from the Weyerbacher Brewing Company out of Easton, Pennsylvania. It is their Chocolate Pretzel Sunday Morning Stout. Obviously, it's a stout, and it weighs in at a whopping 12.7% alcohol by volume. I don't know what to expect from this one, hoping that it's maybe a little bit salty because they say it's a chocolate pretzel stout, but we'll see. In case you're new to this channel, we have a special scoring system that we use for craft beers reviews. Let's go over that real quick.
Scoring for Bryno's Brews is based loosely on the scoring system used by the Beer Judge Certification Program. In our system, a beer can earn a maximum of 10 points. 1 point can be awarded for appearance, 2 points for aroma, 4 points for flavor, 1 point for mouthfeel, and 2 points can be awarded for a beer's overall impression. And finally, partial points can be awarded in any category.
So that's how scoring works. Let's take a bite into this chocolate pretzel stout. First things first, open the can. Kind of a rarity when I review a beer by a can that's not part of a six-pack. I mean, although I can get a little bit of smell of the stout already. Let's get started. 1 point for the appearance. Let's get on with the pour. Oh, that's black. That is a dark, dark stout. Let's try to get a bit of a head on here. Oh my god, a thick black head too. Wow, that's... Oh. Oh my goodness. That was too much. And I spoiled the taste of it, but it wasn't on my... Oh my god. That's the last time I try to force a head like that. But still, looking at the head, it started out dark and now it's starting to get a little bit lighter. It is a very entertaining head, I would say, and maybe I can't really see through it. I can't see the light of my lighting setup through this. But from the part of it looks clean, clear. Again, the head looks very nice, but then I forced it. It looks a bit like a proper heavy stout. I think the head's a little weird, but again, maybe I'm used to the Guinness-style heads, which is the that uses nitrogen. But for a normal stout, this is fine, I think. I kind of like the dark head at first. Just makes it a little bit ominous, if you will. Honestly, between a 0.9 and a perfect 1 for this. So for the appearance, out of one possible point, I'm going to give this 0.95. Alright, next up, 2 points for the aroma. I remember getting a good whiff of this when I opened the can, and I didn't smell too much when I took that emergency sip, so... Plus also I'm recovering from a bit of a sinus thing, so... Let's see what I can smell from here. Oh, this definitely smells like a heavy stout, heavy beer. I can sort of smell the alcohol smell that you get with these high gravity beers. Well, beyond the alcohol smell, I'm not really getting much else. Let's see if I can get a little carbonation going again. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of the dark maltiness of it, but the majority of the smell is just the high alcohol. And I'm not really sure that's a great thing. I'm not really getting much hoppiness or anything from it either. But again, you don't want that from a stout. So the aroma, I don't think is... It could be better. So with that in mind, out of a possible 2 points for the aroma, I'm going to give it maybe a 1.3. Alright, now the moment of truth. 4 points for flavor. Now, I don't remember too much about the emergency sip, but that was just more foam than anything else and not actual beer. But you will not escape my analytical tongue this time. So, 4 points for flavor for the chocolate pretzel stout. Cheers. Yesterday I learned with home brewing that chocolate malt that's used to brew some beers doesn't necessarily mean that it tastes like chocolate. It just, that's the color of the malt. The reason I mention that is because this says it's a chocolate stout. I don't know if that means they use chocolate malt or if it's supposed to taste like chocolate. But I'm not getting a whole lot of chocolate here, but I think it's masked again by the 12.7% ABV. Too much alcohol. It's still really good though. But just like the wort wing I reviewed a couple weeks ago, I think this has the same problem as that it's too heavy for its own good. Now, I realize that's kind of hard to do with a high gravity beer. You're definitely going to get some alcohol burn with it, but I think I'm starting to get to the point where big isn't necessarily better. If I mentioned that last week, then it's doubly true now. Or not. I don't even know when I'm reviewing these videos anymore. Or maybe that's just that heavy that I'm forgetting. But either way, high gravity isn't necessarily better, at least not in my opinion anymore. But anyway, the flavor, this is fine. I still think it's just the high alcohol just getting in the way of any good, high quality flavors that might come out of this, whether it's the malt or the hops or anything. I'm getting something, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm getting some maltiness, but not much. Everything is just overpowered by the high alcohol. Out of a possible 4 points, I'm going to give it, let's see, 2.75. Next up, 1 point for the mouthfeel. Here we go. I think the mouthfeel in this beer is actually pretty good. It's carbonated, but not too carbonated, which is what you expect from a high gravity beer like this. Feels very smooth. The only knock I can give it is just the alcohol burn, but with 12.7% you kind of expect that. The burn's really the only knock I can give in this beer, but other than that, it's smooth. It's, I mean, once you get past the carbonation, it's the light carbonation, it's smooth and it's nice. I'll give it good marks for that. So at a 1 point for the mouthfeel, I'll give it 0.9. Finally, 2 points for overall impression. Overall, I think that much like the wort wing beer aged in whiskey barrels, I think this suffers from the problem of just being too alcoholic for its own good. The alcohol just gets in the way of the flavor. But maybe it's just how my tongue is with heavy stouts like that. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you never hear that problem with double IPAs, although that's also to be expected because the hops are supposed to be the dominant flavor there and not the malt, as in this case. Maybe I just expect more of a malty presence in a stout, or which is what you're supposed to get with a stout or a porter, than what's being offered here. And again, the alcohol just gets in the way of that completely. I mean, but at the same time, I can understand how hard it would be to make a high gravity beer that's got strong malty characteristics. It's hard to do that when you just try to ferment. You can't really ferment all the maltiness out, so you give it a little bit of sweetness. That's kind of what I want from a stout. That's something that's a little bit sweet, not too sweet, obviously. But with these high gravity beers, that's pretty hard to do. So anyway, overall, I think out of 2 possible points, I'm thinking 3.5. Well, I have done the math, and if my drunken numbers are correct, the Weyerbacher Chocolate Pretzel Sunday Morning Stout, out of a possible 10 points, got 7.25. I hate to say with these expensive beers that the number's kind of disappointing. You know, it's 7 sort of being the baseline for a average product of any kind and such. But when you spend like $8, I think I spent $8 on that can, I kind of expecting something that's in the 8 or, I won't say 9 range, but something higher, above an 8, maybe approaching a 9. And I didn't even get close to that with this beer, so that's got to be a disappointment. But like a lot of the beers that are expensive like this, but it's not terrible. it's definitely not terrible. It's a good beer, just not a great beer. Definitely not an $8 beer, in my opinion. I would say try it once and form your own opinion. It's definitely not a beer that you need to drink over and over and over again. And in fact, you shouldn't, otherwise you'll be on your you-know-what. Well, that'll do it for another episode of Bryno's Brews here on the Browns World. Thank you all very much for watching. If you got ideas for beers I can review on this show or anything I can cook on Bryno's World, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. And most of you already have already, but so just like the video, share it around. And like I said a few weeks ago, I've eclipsed 200 subscribers. I'm still hoping to do something special. I haven't done it yet. I have an idea what I want to do to commemorate this occasion. I'm kind of scared to do it, but I think eventually I'll get to it. So keep staying tuned. And I'm honestly kind of enjoying getting back into the swing of things. So again, keep liking the videos, keep sharing the videos, just keep spreading the love. Once again, thanks for watching, and have yourself a good one.